Hi, it's Jim Wright, and on behalf of Dave Myers and Jim Martin, my co-hosts, welcome to the third video. Now, the first one was why you need to go to the Holy Land at some point in your life. Second one was why it would be great to go with us. And now this third one is how do I get registered? And so if you have prayed about it, you've talked with friends, you've done some research, you've done some more praying about it, and you say, I'm ready to pull the trigger, I'm ready to go, then this video is for you. It'll help you to get registered. Now, there are three ways of getting registered. Let me tell you about them one at a time. First one is the quickest and easiest one, and that is the online method. And you can go to our website, jimanddave'stravels.com, and there's a link to the Pilgrim Tours uh, uh, site that has the registration form on it. Um, Now, I'm going to put a link down below, and so you can click on that if you would like. But if you go to the Pilgrim Tours site, you need to make sure that you go to the one for the Pecatonica tour, and otherwise you'll be going with someone else. But make sure you're on the right one. Then it will have a spot where it says online registration. You can click on that, and it'll start a 4-page registration. First page is about the tour itself, and it's going to ask you, your name and information, just a little bit of information. Then it's going to ask you, do you want to travel with us as far as your airfare is concerned? Now, you probably are, because they have some pretty good prices with the group rates. And so we're going to be traveling either out of Chicago or out of either Philly or New York City. And if it's out of New York City, there's going to be some bus transportation in there that shouldn't be a real big problem. But I would encourage you to either click the Chicago, or if you're going out of Philly or New York, click other and then right down in the line below Philly. And then it's going to ask you about about insurance. Now, there's two different forms of insurance. One of them is basically medical insurance, and it's going to cover you in case you get sick, you break a limb, whatever it is, heart problems. If you're going to need medical help, your insurance might not cover it, and so there is this. There is also in case the whole tour gets canceled or there's some whatever thing that nobody can control. Anyway, there's some other coverages in there. You need to read the information and decide whether or not you want to do that. There is another type of insurance there that is what they call cancel for any reason. And it not only has all of the medical coverage, but also it covers a whole lot more of the trip expenses. So you need to check those out. The second one is obviously more expensive. And Pilgrim encourages you to get the insurance. We encourage you to get the insurance, but we may or may not be getting the insurance ourselves. And so you need to be discerning and determine whether or not you want to spend that extra money. And it's a lot of money, but determine whether or not that's worthwhile to you. And so if you get the first type of insurance, you can wait to pay that until the final payment, which is, I think, September, October, something like that. However, if you're going to get the cancel for any reason insurance, you have to do it when you actually register. So the first page is that information. The second page is all of the personal information about you. It is the information that is going to be on this registration form that you can download if you want to, so that you're prepared and have all the information there. But it's going to not only get your name and passport number, but it's also going to get a lot of other information. Now, as you fill this in, um, you need to be ready with the information. You need to have your passport handy. You need to have a picture of your passport or a PDF of your passport that you can attach as a file so that they can have that. Now you say, wait a minute, I don't have my passport yet. Then just write in there pending. If you're going to get your passport renewed, they're going to give you a different number for your new passport. And so just write in there pending. And then you're going to have to get, when you get your passport or you get your new passport, you're going to need to send Pilgrim a picture of that and that information when that comes. But please make sure that you get all of your information accurately. And anybody who's traveled internationally knows that they check that out. And if there is a discrepancy, you don't fly. And so please make sure that information is accurate. By the way, Pilgrim is going to double check it from the image that you send them. So, don't let freak you out too much. Then there also is the tour badge name. They're going to be getting you a tour badge, and mine's going to say Jim. Okay, Jim Wright or Jim. In any case, don't get too creative on this. None of this, His Royal Majesty, so on. No, just what you want to be called. Write that in there. And then there's going to be the roommate and the room selection. There are different choices for that. One is single. Now, if you click single there, it's going to cost you $1,125 more for the single supplement. Now you get a room all to yourself, and that's great, but it'll be more expensive. And if you are all by yourself, we can probably hook you up with someone else. There's going to be other single individuals there of your gender, and so we can probably work that out. And then there's the option that is called double. Now, this would be like a husband and wife where they want one bed. There's going to be a little more room in the room itself if you just have the one bed. And so that's what Myra and I are going to choose. And then there is the twin. Now, this means two beds, two people. Okay, from what I understand, Dave Myers is going to be traveling with Chad Myers, his son, another pastor, and so they're going to be choosing this one, so they don't have to sleep in the same bed. That will be nice. And then there's the triple. The triple is, for instance, if you're bringing a child or maybe an adult child along with you, and they're going to be in the same room rather than getting a single supplement for them. They can stay with you, and there will be three in the room, and there will be an additional bed there. And if you have two kids that are traveling with you, then you simply get another room. And that way you, once again, avoid that single supplement. So you need to make that choice. And then there is the emergency contact information. This is something that is universal throughout the travel industry. And so be aware that you need to get the name of someone who's not traveling with you, who can make some decisions for you and help you out if there is a problem. So that's there. And then there will be some signatures. Then the last page, the second to last page is going to be the terms and conditions page. This is going to be some reading for you, and I would encourage you to read it. That's what it's there for. And you say, I don't like fine print. Nobody likes fine print, but read it anyway. So as you read down through it, you'll see that there are some things here that are included. There is, for instance, your tips are included. The getting the suitcase up to your room, and the restaurants, and paying at the hotel and tipping people. That's all basically covered, and so. That's included. Now, what's not included is, for instance, at lunch. Your lunch isn't included because some people, they eat so much at breakfast, and in the evening they don't want lunch, or they don't want to just get something light at a gas station or whatever. Um, there's different choices for lunch, and there's a whole lot of reason why lunch isn't covered, and we'll explain that later. But if you go to a sit-down restaurant at lunch and you choose to tip, then that's not included either. And then also it talks about how additional private transfers on arrival and departure. Uh, if you set up your own airfare and are not meeting the tour at the airport, then you will need to pay for a taxi or something, or transfer to get to the hotel where everybody's meeting up, whether that's in Cairo or from Tel Aviv, from the hotel to the. If you're setting up your own transportation and traveling separate from us, then you're going to need to take care of that. Myra and I had to do that last time we went. We actually arrived in Tel Aviv, I think 12 hours before the rest of the tour. So we got a taxi to the hotel, and it was a good thing for us, but we had to pay for it. Um, and so there's that. Also, the Egypt visa. This is the only one you'll have to pay for. It's $30, and it's not included because you actually have to pay them for it when we get there, and it would be cumbersome for it to be a part of the tour coverage. And then there's cancellation service fee structure, which, by the way, is included, but they're explaining it to you. And then there's some responsibilities that you need to read about. Um, and then there is also tour membership and mobility requirements. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that there is walking on this tour. You're going to need to be able to walk, up to a mile or more, and so be aware of that. And if you're in a wheelchair or a walker, please understand that this tour probably isn't for you. Now, there may be times when you say, "Yeah, I can normally walk a mile, 2 miles, not a problem." But uh, there might be times when you say, "You know what? It's not worth it to me for this particular site," and so you can just stay on the bus when we tell you about it, or you can get off of the bus and do some shopping right around where the bus is. Not a problem. But be aware that there is walking on this tour, and be aware that walking outside the United States is different than walking in the United States, because everyone in the States is afraid of being sued. And so the steps are all equal, and not slanted or worn, and the cracks in the sidewalk are eliminated and all that type of thing. It's not that way around the world. You go to the UK and you have to mind the gap. Elsewhere in the world, you're going to find that steps are different heights, that there's holes in the sidewalk. You're going to have to watch where you're walking. And so be aware that walking outside the States is different than walking in the United States. And so read through that and be aware and prepared. So there is the terms and conditions page, and you need to check that you're fine with all of that. And then the last page is the payment page, and you can pay with a credit card. So be aware that that's all very quick and easy. Then that's the first way. And when you are done signing up online, you need to then send me an email. And my email address is right down below here. You need to send me an email to let me know that you have registered and that the money is out of your account and in theirs. And anyway, when the trigger has been pulled, you need to let me know. Then I will put you on the list. When you let me know that, I would encourage you to give me a little more information. Give me your name, if yours, and who you're traveling with. Give me some information, a little bit about you. Are you a pastor? Are you a missionary? Are you retired? What company do you work for? What's your occupation? A little bit about you. And then also let us know a little bit, tell us who invited you. And did Jim Martin invite you? Did Pastor Myers or I invite you? Just so that we are aware of that. Now, that's the first method. Okay, online, simple, easy. Second method is to go online and download this registration form. And when you have downloaded the registration form, then you fill it out, you print legibly, and you fill it out, you write a check to Pilgrim Tours, and you date it, and you send it in to Pilgrim Tours along with the registration form and the picture or PDF of your passport or passports. And you send it all into them, and then you email me and you let me know all of that information. That's the second way. Now, the third way is just in case You're a little bit uneasy about the possibility. Now, I'm saying this only because it is a remote possibility that the price might change a little bit in March. I say this because Pilgrim Tours made an estimate a year ago as to what the airfare would be, but things have changed in the last year, haven't they? And we'll not get into the politics here, but things have changed, and thankfully they haven't changed a lot in airfare prices. And with group rates, we can still do pretty well. So we're thinking it's not going to change from the $4,700 price tag, but you know, you can't say 100% sure. So we're not saying 100% sure. Also, there is the thing of the schedule and the airline. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of an airline snob. There are some airlines that I'm not going to travel with because, fool me once. Um, and so, I'm working with Pilgrim as to what flight airlines I won't travel on, and they're not going to schedule one that I won't travel on. But I don't know about your list. And also, there might be a schedule that you don't like or something. I don't know. Maybe you're wanted in Germany I have no idea. But if you want to know the flight schedule and if there is the possibility of any final change and you just want to have the option to back out without losing $100 of that $300 registration fee, because $100 of it is non-refundable, then what you need to do is fill out the form, write the check out to Pilgrim Tours, date it mid-February, put it in an envelope with a picture of your PDF or PDF of your passport, and then rather than sending it to Pilgrim, send it to either Jim Martin or to Dave Myers. When they get it, they're going to hold on to it until you sign off on sending it into Pilgrim in mid-March. And that way, if you say, sometime between now and mid-March, I don't think I want to go. I don't like that flight or whatever. Whatever reason, we'll just tear it up and take you off the list. Uh, no big deal. But if you'd prefer to take that third route, go ahead and do that. That is an option for you. But no matter which way you do it, you need to email me immediately. Let me know that information so I can put you on the list. It's important that you get on the list because I really believe that this trip is going to fill up. We've already got 6 pastors that have said they're going, and so there's going to be, I think we're going to fill up. And so you're going to want to get on the list. All right, I think that's it. Now, if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to call us. Call Pastor Dave, Pastor Jim. You can call me. Our information is on the website, and we don't mind talking to you about it. And so give us a call if you've got questions. We are looking forward to this trip. It's going to be a good one. And I am sure that the Lord is going to bless it as we see, all of these sites that are talked about in the Bible. Follow the Exodus and listen, it's going to be a good trip. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you can join us for it. Are you ready?